Antihero Studios just dropped a bunch of information and there's a lot to unpack. There's now a new third ability for every Misfitz character, more hover pads added onto the map, new reworks to some Misfitz abilities. First, we're going to start off talking about each new third ability added to each Misfit in the game. First up, we have Ray, and his new ability is called Overdrive. Now, if you were scared of Ray players in the past, you have every reason to be more scared than you have ever been. When this third ability is activated for Ray, it will give him infinite ammo, a speed increase, and a damage boost all in one. Now, they didn't tell us how long the ability will last for, but that alone is gonna be crazy. They said in the video how they want him to be able to shoot a lot more, and they feel like that's a restriction for him as a character. Now, to be honest, with this being one of the new third abilities added, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to try out and play. I definitely think, as I've played Ray in the past, it's a lot harder to take out enemies until you get that super charged up. And it definitely feels like a heavy restriction with Ray when you're waiting for your ammo to recharge. Next up, we have Rush, and Rush's third ability is called Shuriken Strike. And this ability is basically going to be turning Rush into a human shuriken. When this ability is activated, Rush will basically bounce and deal damage between a bunch of enemies that are within range of him, but we don't know how much he will actually be able to bounce in between. A big plus to this attack as well is now once you dash through people with Rush's super, it will put a mark on them. Then once you use the Shuriken Strike attack, it will actually do more damage than it would normally. So you're going to want to be using Rush's super to actually mark enemies to do more damage with his third ability. And for my Moko players out here, if you want to get a good idea of how this is, think of kind of like the Zapsicle. When you mark enemies with the little zap icon on the Zapsicle, then you are able to bounce in between all of those enemies. Just so you can get a better idea, that is kind of how the attack will be working. One thing you want to watch out for though is you are not invincible while using the Shuriken Strike attack. So you want to be careful that you're not dashing into bad situations and taking too much damage. Next up, and as stated in the video, a fan favorite, we have Shade. Now, they didn't exactly say the name of this ability, but they did call it a smoke bomb, so I'm just going to call the name of this ability Smoke Bomb. When placed down, Shade's new third ability will make a big dome of smoke around her. When you are inside this dome as Shade, enemies on the outside are unable to see you. And when you're on the outside, if an enemy is on the inside, they are also unable to see you that way as well. Another plus with this ability is that enemies are actually unable to auto-aim attack you while you are hiding. So if you are in the dome, you are protected from auto-aim attacks not targeting you. This is definitely going to be able to help Shade escape a lot more situations, but also set up great situations as well where she can lead attacks. Overall, I think this is a great third ability for Shade. Next here on the list, we have Beat. When Beat's third ability is activated, it will make a huge shockwave around him, blasting enemies away. It will also put a shield around him as well. This is just going to help Beat be a better tank than he already was to begin with, keeping close-up enemies off of him and also being able to get that extra shield. The next third ability that we have is Gloss. This ability will let Gloss do a dash. Now, that is great for mobility, but it can also be used for other reasons as well. From what it looked like in the video, if you dash into your teammate, you are actually able to move them away. So Gloss is actually now able to carry teammates. So if you're in a crazy fight and you need to get out of there, you can use your dash ability onto your teammate and you can get both of you guys out of there so you can heal. Overall, this is going to be an amazing change for Gloss. You're definitely going to be able to play that support role a lot better than before, in my opinion. And for the last of the third abilities, we have Drip. All of Drip's main attacks will now leave paint on the enemy. And once you activate Drip's third ability, it will deal damage to every single enemy that has paint on them. And for my Moko players out there, once again, if you want to get a good idea for how this works, think of the Venom Bow in Moko. For this weapon, any enemy that is poisoned, once you use one of your abilities, it will damage all of the enemies that have the poison effect on them. This is kind of how this attack is going to be working. This is going to be great for Drip, being able to put out a little more damage since Drip felt very restricted just to the main output of damage from the main attack. Now that we have the third abilities out of the way, let's move on to all the small changes and reworks to the Misfitz characters. First, we have an ammo change for Ray. Instead of before where Ray had 4 shots of ammo, Ray will now just have a solid bar that'll slowly deplete as you shoot the ammo. Next on the list, we have Shade, and instead of the 2 ammo slots previously that Shade had, Shade is now being upgraded to 3 ammo slots. Now we have Beat. Beat is also getting a change to the ammo slots with getting upgraded to 6 shots now. Beat has also gotten a small rework to the ultimate ability as well. First, when you activate this ability, what I thought was kind of funny is it actually looks like you throw out a little Pokeball looking thing like from Pokemon. And if that's the case, then we cannot let it fall into the hands of Ryan because you already know what's going to be happening. But once this thing hits the ground, then it will activate just like it did previously, where it will suck enemies into the center. But once the ultimate ability finishes, it will actually implode in the middle and deal damage. This will just help add a little bit of extra damage to Beat's ultimate ability, so it doesn't feel like it's not doing much. Next up, we have Gloss, and she is getting a massive buff to her ammo. Gloss will now have 8 shots of ammo. Another switch up to Gloss's main attack is now once it impacts an enemy, it will actually split and spread out. They are hoping that this will just help with taking out world bots a little bit easier and also being able to heal a little easier at the same time. Gloss also got a change to her ultimate ability as well. Instead of being a circle that pops a few times and follows you as you're moving, it will lay down a big circle pad instead that stays in one place. From what it looked like, it will heal you for 500 health when you're in the circle. I don't know how fast the healing will ramp up though. So as you're playing Gloss, you want to make sure when you're using the ultimate ability, you're going to be staying in one place instead of moving from now on. Now let's move on to other changes I spotted or found while watching the update video. First off, we see this indicator in the top pointing to a relic. But as the video actually plays on, we see this big blue relic machine thing sitting on the map. Now, we don't know for sure what this machine does yet, but there is a few guesses as to what it could do. My guess is that it could be some kind of thing where you collect the materials on the map and you actually bring them back to the machine and you can purchase relics from the machine. That's just one of the random guesses I had, but there's probably a few other theories out there that other people have. Another thing I noticed while watching the video is the sewer cap was actually spraying up from the ground off the street. I'm guessing you'll be able to actually stand on this and be shot up into the air while you're standing on this platform. So that's cool that they're adding a few more different mobility options to the game. Also, as I was watching the video, I noticed that there was another little hover pad that was flying way further than we've seen previous ones fly. So we don't know how much more they've added to the map, but we know there's at least one more that's been added, and this one looks like it takes you way further than others have previously. After watching all these updates, don't forget to give feedback to Misfitz on what you think about these changes. The reason they're posting this video is because they want to get the most feedback possible for the changes they're making on the game. Hopefully we get to try these updates soon. I'm super hyped for it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.